So hi friends and welcome back. In previous video we had derived an equation of natural frequency of spring mass system. So today we will see the equivalent system of spring mass, then we will see cutting of springs, then we will see the combinations of springs. Okay, so I hope you will enjoy this lecture. So watch this lecture till the end, and if you have any doubts then please ask me. So without any further delay, let's get started. So first we will start with equivalent system. So these are the spring mass system which are arranged in different way. First it is held vertical, then it is held horizontal, now it is kept on a inclined plane. So first we will see the case of vertical. Okay, so a spring mass is held vertically. In previous video we had derived the equation, that is mx double dot plus kx equals to 0. So if you had not seen that video, then I will provide the link in the top right corner. So go and see that first. So we had derived this equation and we got the answer, that is natural angular frequency omega n equals to under root of k by m. This is the natural angular frequency when the spring mass system is held vertical. Now we will check these other two have what natural angular frequency. If it is same or different, we will check this. So what are the forces acting on this mass? It will be the weight, that is mg, downwards. Now due to this weight there will be a restoring force in the spring and the spring undergoes a static deflection. So it will be k into xi. Let xi be the initial deflection. Okay, so this is the spring which is in the static deflection. So in static deflection the mass will be at the mean position. So at that position we can write an equation, that is kxi, that is restoring force of the spring, is equals to weight. So how this restoring force formula had came, that we know that k is the stiffness of the spring. It is equals to force per unit deflection. So from that, force is equals to stiffness into deflection. So that is k into deflection. Okay. So in static deflection our system is in equilibrium, that is k into xi equals to mg. Now when we give a downward force, then this spring will extend like this. So we give an x displacement. So there will be a k into x, another restoring force, and the initial restoring force was the k into xi which was present. So it will be present in this spring, and another k into x, the restoring force, will come when we extend the spring. Okay. So according to Newton's second law, that is summation of f equals to mass into acceleration. So summation of f will be what? That is, in the direction where we are pulling the spring, take the forces in that direction as positive. मीन्स जिस भी डायरेक्शन में हम खींच रहे हैं उस डायरेक्शन में जो जो फोर्स होंगे उसको हम पॉजिटिव लेंगे. सो कौन सा फोर्स है हमारा? एक mg ही है. सो mg माइनस kx minus k into xi is equals to m into acceleration. Now acceleration can be written as x double dot. So this is the inertia force which is acting upwards opposite to our displacement. Okay, this all thing is discussed in the previous video in detail, so go and see that. So now k into xi equals to mg, so we can cut this. So we will get mx double dot plus kx equals to 0. So this is the equation of natural, this is the fundamental equation of the vibrating system which have natural vibrations. So it is mx double dot plus kx equals to 0. So we got the solution for this, that is omega n equals to under root of k by m. So we got the natural angular frequency of this system is under root of k by m. Now we will see these two. So now for B, so think there will be a initial deflection or not? So there will be a no initial deflection. Why? Because this mass is kept horizontal. So the spring will be at its original position. It will not deflect. There will be a no initial deflection. So this is the mean position of the spring. So when we pull this spring, हम जब इस spring को खींचेंगे तब इसमें एक restoring force generate होगा. वो कौन सा होगा? Let K be the stiffness of the spring. So it will be K into X. K into X जितना एक restoring force generate होगा. So हम equation क्या लिखेंगे? That is summation of F equals to MA. So what will be the summation of forces? Only one force is there which is in the opposite direction to our displacement. So we will write negative, that is minus Kx equals to this inertial force. So inertia force will come in this direction. So we will write mass into x double dot. X double dot is nothing but acceleration, that is d square x by dt square, which is equals to x double dot is equals to acceleration. So again we are getting the equation, that is kx plus mx double dot equals to 0. Okay, so this equation is same as the case 1. So again we are getting the natural angular frequency as under root of k by m. So for case A and case B we are getting the same angular frequency, means if we suspend the mass vertically with the spring and if we put the mass horizontal with the spring, the natural angular frequency will be same. Okay, now we are moving to case C. So now you can see this mass is kept on an inclined plane. So there will be a deflection. So this deflection will be equals to this deflection or not? I am asking the question that this deflection will be equals to the deflection which we are getting in the first case. Pause the video and think. No, it will be different because it is held inclined. So there will be a different deflection from case 1. So we will mark that initial deflection with xi dash. So this is the mean position. So due to this initial deflection, we will get a k into xi dash force in the upward direction. That is the restoring force of the spring. Now the mass of this spring is acting downwards. So this is mg. And we know that this angle is theta. So this angle will be also theta. Okay, I will draw an enlarged part, a free body diagram. So this is mg is acting downwards. Now we are getting a normal reaction force like this. So the angle between them will be mg and this extended part will be theta. Okay, so we can resolve this mg into two components, that is mg cos theta here and here mg sin theta. So there will be an initial deflection due to this component of the force, that is mg sin theta, which is acting here. So it is in the equilibrium position because it is at mean position. So we can write that mg sin theta is equals to k into xi dash. So this is the first equation what we are getting. Now this mg is equals to k into xi dash, which is under a static deflection. Now when we provide a pull in the downward direction with x displacement, then there will be another restoring force, that is k into x in this opposite direction to our pull. And other force, that is the inertia force, will also come in this direction, upward direction, that is mx double dot. Okay, so according to the Newton's second law of motion, summation of F equals to ma. So what are the forces? First, the forces which are in the direction of our pull, take them positive. So mg sin theta will be positive, minus k into xi dash will be negative, minus k into x, because this k into xi dash and k into x are opposite to our displacement. So it is equals to this inertial force, that is m into x double dot. Now we know that mg sin theta is equals to k into xi dash. So we will cut. So again we are getting the same equation, that is mx double dot plus kx equals to 0. So the same formula will come, that is omega n is equals to under root of k by m. So we can conclude that if we put the spring mass system vertically or horizontally or at an inclined plane, then we can get the same angular frequency as we are getting in the vertical case, that is under root of k by m. This is the equivalent system of spring mass. Okay, now we will see the combinations of spring. So we will see the combinations of spring. So case 1 is springs in series. So if we arrange the spring in series combination, then what will be the stiffness of that system? So let's say this is the spring 1 with the stiffness K1 and the spring 2 with stiffness K2, and it is loaded with the mass M. So due to this mass M, there will be a static deflection. We will write as delta St is the total static deflection. Now due to mass M, there will be an initial deflection in spring 1. We will mark with delta 1. And due to mass M, there will be an initial deflection in spring 2. Okay, so that is delta 2. Now due to this initial deflections, there will be a restoring force, that is K1 into delta 1 in the spring 1 and other K2 into delta 2 in spring 2. Okay, these are the forces. Now total static deflection will be delta St equals to delta 1 plus delta 2. That is deflection in spring 1 plus deflection in spring 2. We will mark as equation number 1. Now here mass M is loaded with these two springs. So there will be a weight which is mg acting in the downwards. As the same mass is loaded with these two springs, then we can write that mg equals to k into delta 1, also mg equals to k into delta 2. Why? Because the same mass is loaded with these two springs. So from this equation, or first we will put the equivalent stiffness. Now if I remove these two springs and I bring a spring with the equivalent stiffness of these two springs, that is, so this spring having the equivalent stiffness of these two springs in this series. So this is mg. So there will be a total deflection, what? Delta St. So we can write that K equivalent into delta St is equals to mg. This is the restoring force of the spring is equals to weight of this mass under the equilibrium position. Okay. So let this equation be 2 and this as 3. Now from this equation 2, we will get delta 1 equals to mg divided by K1 and delta 2 equals to mg divided by K2. And from this equation 3, we will get delta St equals to mg divided by K equivalent. So now we will put the value of delta St, delta 1 and delta 2 in equation number 1. So we will get mg divided by K equivalent equals to mg by K1 plus mg by K2. So this mg gets cancelled. So we will get 1 upon K equivalent equals to 1 upon K1 plus 1 upon K2. So this is the equivalent stiffness of the springs when they are connected in series. Okay. So when the springs are connected in series, their stiffness will decrease. So if we want to decrease the stiffness of the spring and we want to keep the number of springs same, then we can use this series combination. Now we will see the parallel combination. So one thing I forgot to say, in series combination of the spring, the one end of the spring is connected with the fixed end and the other end of the spring is connected with the other spring. Okay, so remember that one end of the spring is connected with the fixed end and the other end of the spring is connected with the other spring. Okay, so we will see now parallel combinations of spring. So this is the parallel combination in which one end of the spring is connected with the fixed end and other end is connected with the mass. One end is connected with this fixed end and other end is connected with the mass. Okay, so these are the two springs of stiffness K1 and K2 and this is the mass which is loaded. Now there will be a downward weight, that is mg, and due to this downward weight there will be an initial deflection in these two springs and that deflection will be same in both. That will be xi and let's say here also xi. So there will be a force, that is k into xi upwards, k1 into xi, and here also K2 into Xi for spring 2. Now if we draw the free body diagram of this figure, so this is the mass and this is weight mg, here K into K1 into Xi and K2 into Xi. So we can write that K1 into Xi plus K2 into Xi equals to mg. I hope you got this idea that the upward forces are taken as addition equals to this downward force, because the system is in static deflection which is in equilibrium position. This is the mean position of this spring. So let mark this as equation number 1. Now if I remove these two springs and bring a one spring of this equivalent stiffness of these two springs, then it will be K equivalent and here mass mg, and stiffness will be K equivalent and force will be K equivalent into Xi. So we can write K equivalent into Xi equals to mg. So from equation 1 and 2 we will write mg equals to K equivalent into Xi equals to K1 into Xi plus K2 into Xi, or we will substitute the value of mg from equation 2 in equation 1. So K1 into Xi plus K2 into Xi equals to K equivalent into Xi. So we can cut this Xi and Xi. So we will get K1 plus K2 equals to K equivalent. So this is the formula for the equivalent stiffness of the springs when they are connected in parallel. So from this equation you can see that when the springs are connected in parallel, then the stiffness of that system will increase. So remember that things. So now we will see cutting of springs. So when we cut this spring, then its stiffness changes. Okay, means if we cut this spring, let's say I cut this spring from here, so I will apply a force. So I can experience that this part of spring is having more stiffness. Why? Because I am applying more force. Now when I extend this spring, I can extend it easily. Why? Because I am experiencing a less resisting force or less restoring force, because the stiffness of this whole spring is less. Now if I cut this spring, then its stiffness of this part of this spring increases. So I have to apply more force to extend this spring. Means जब ये पूरी स्प्रिंग होगी तो इसकी स्टिफनेस जब मैं इस स्प्रिंग को कट करके लूँगा तो उस स्टिफनेस से कम होगी. मीन्स ये पूरी स्प्रिंग की स्टिफनेस लेट से 1 है और जब मैं इसको कट करूँगा तब उसकी स्टिफनेस 1 से बढ़ जाएगी. और वो कैसे पता चलेगा? जब हम उसको खींचेंगे तो हमारा फोर्स जो खींचने के लिए अप्लाई करेंगे वो ज़्यादा करना पड़ेगा, और यहाँ पे हम एकदम इजीली खींच सकते हैं, और यहाँ पे खींचने के लिए थोड़ा ज़्यादा फोर्स लगेगा. तो जब भी हम स्प्रिंग को कट करेंगे तो स्प्रिंग में उसकी स्टिफनेस चेंज होगी. नाउ व्हेन वी कट दिस स्प्रिंग इनटू 2 इक्वल पार्ट्स, सो व्हाट विल बी दी स्टिफनेस ऑफ दैट 2 पार्ट्स, and when we cut the spring into 2 unequal parts, then what will be the stiffness in that 2 unequal parts? So we will see that. So first case is cutting spring in 2 equal parts. So let's say this is the spring and I am cutting from the middle of this spring, and the length of the spring, let's say it is L. Okay, the length of the spring is L. So this is the part 1 and this is part 2. The stiffness of this whole spring is K. Now when we cut, the stiffness changes, that is K1 and K2. Okay, so how much it will be, we will see. So when the spring was uncut, then if we apply force, then the spring will produce a restoring force of F equals to K into L. So this is the restoring force which is produced by this uncut spring when we extend this spring. Now when we cut this spring into two equal parts, then there will be a difference in the stiffness. So we will see that. Okay, so for part 1, let's say for part 1, so if we apply the force F, then it will produce a restoring force which is equals to K1 into what will be the length? It is L by 2, because we had cut the spring into two equal parts. So it will be L by 2. Now this is the equation 2 and this is equation 1. So let K1 equals to F divided by L upon 2. Now if I put the value of F from the above equation, then I will get that K1 equals to K into L divided by L upon 2. So I am getting that K1 equals to K into L upon 2 by L. Okay, so this L and this L gets cancelled, so we will get K1 equals to 2K. Similarly for K2 will be same, so K2 equals to 2K. That means when we cut the spring into two equal parts, the stiffness of each of the part will become double of this uncut spring. That is, here will be 2K and here also 2K. Now if we cut the spring into three equal parts, this is cut and this is one cut. So whole length is L and this will be L by 3, L by 3 and L by 3. If you will calculate with the same method for this spring, then you will get 3K, 3K and 3K. So if you cut this spring into four equal parts, then each part of the spring becomes 4K, 4K and 4K. The stiffness of each of the parts will become 4K, 4K and 4K. Okay, so whenever we cut the spring into two equal parts, then each part of the spring have the double stiffness, that is 2K. Now we will see when we cut the spring into two unequal parts. So let's say the uncut spring have the stiffness K. Now when we cut this spring into unequal parts, the first part have the length M and the other part have the length N. So what will be the stiffness of the part M? You have to remember this formula, that is M plus N into stiffness of the uncut spring divided by M. This is for part M. Okay, I will write for part M having length M. Now we will see for part N, that is having length N. So again, that is M plus N into stiffness of the spring in divided by N. So this is for part N. For part N. So if you want to understand with this example, so let's say this M is equals to 1 centimeter and this N is equals to 2 centimeter, and the K is the stiffness of this uncut spring. When we cut, its stiffness changes, but K is the stiffness when the spring is not cut. Now let's say M is 1 centimeter and N is 2 centimeter. So for part M, stiffness will be, let's say K1 equals to M plus N. So M is 1 and N is 2. So 1 plus 2 into K, stiffness of the uncut spring, divide by M, 1. So it will be 3K. So K1 equals to 3K. Now for part N, so it will be K2 is equals to M plus N. So 1 plus 2 into stiffness of the uncut spring, divide by N, 2. So it will be 3 by 2 K. So K2 is equals to 3 by 2 into K. So we can observe that K1 is greater than K2. That is, the part of the spring which is smaller have the greater stiffness. Okay, जो भी part small होगा spring का, उसकी stiffness ज़्यादा होगी. Or we can say that 2 centimeter part of the spring have less stiffness as compared to this 1 centimeter part. That 1 centimeter part have 3K stiffness, 3 times of original stiffness, and the other part of the spring have 3 by 2 times the original stiffness. So remember that if the spring is small, then its stiffness is more, and if the spring is long, then its stiffness is less. Okay, so that's all about this cutting of springs. So that's all. I hope you had enjoyed this lecture. If you have any doubts, then please ask me in the comment section. Please subscribe to my channel for more educational videos, like and share. Also follow me on the Instagram. I will provide the link in the description. So in next video we will discuss about the natural frequency of simple pendulum. So till then, have a good day and bye.